Enki and Enlil and his sister, their sister. I never thought about it, but I didn't get a chance to show yesterday what I wanted to because I just went to sleep. I said this before that Enki and Enlil. I don't know who is who, where is where, what is what, but when I hear what I'm hearing, obviously I'm keeping close track of Derek and Klex. At one time I thought it was just one click, now I think it's two, and it makes more sense because it's Adam and Eve. And then with Derek being a one-man show, it makes more sense, Adam and Eve in the same vessel. I've also heard SJD talk about Adam. He's Adam Bendejo. Ben David, and his wife was Eve at one point or something around there. So there's the Adam and Eve as a male, female, as the perception. Perception is SJD, Adam, I think Bobby was her name, Eve, and then that, however that works. Then Johnny 1 and Johnny 2, Adam and Eve. But with this Adam and Eve, at least so far, the Adam is the one that, the male is the one that did the surgery to become a female. That's how I'm seeing that. And if I can be corrected, I have no problem being corrected, but this is a game of guessing the world script and who's behind it. I know it's hard to believe. It really is. Like, people are on this planet and they're not on YouTube. They don't go on YouTube and show you that, yes, that's exactly what they're doing. That's exactly what it is. We're in the last days of the end of this world, and this is exactly what's supposed to happen. So if people have a problem believing that, just go to Scripture and understand that there's going to be these people that rise up. There's a beast, there's an Antichrist, a false prophet, the dragon. But see, the dragon, if you try to look at the dragon as one person, you might get confused. If you try to look at one person being in charge of the planet, you might struggle with the gods of the earth, because there's more than just one. They have subsections that they're in charge of. And then Derek being the Adam and Eve in the same vessel, in one vessel, playing that out where not everybody knows that him and Malia are one. I don't think anybody truly knows that, like us that are just watching. We never met the people. I don't think anybody really knows. It's all about belief, like believing. Do you believe? Can I convince you that Derek is a one-man show? When I feel like it was Johnny Eve showed me the Toto thing, unveiling the Toto. And then Adam's been up more recently, Adam Kleck. There is one way that I feel like I figured out the difference between both of them. And I am not going to say what it is. I've never said it. I never said it out loud. It's definitely in my head, and I'm going to keep it that way, because so far I feel like that's the ticket. There's a certain there's just a certain facial expression that separates. It's not about the voice, because the voice can always change. I get that part. That can be done purposely too. So it's about Adam and Eve. And then there's like the legitimate Adam and Eve. So how I see it is, these are all actors, they're playing this out, but they are the top people that have the ability to, well, they can tell you, if they're not the ones in charge of what's happening, at least they definitely know exactly what's going to happen, which puts them up in the upper echelon of people to pay attention to. I remember so many times people tell me, stop wasting my time with SJD. He's just a bum, poor suffering servant. Just shut up. Just shut up and get out of here. Because the ones saying that are the ones that know exactly who Steve is and all that stuff. So they're liars. And then, same thing with Click. Wasting your time. Wasting it. Just shut up. Just shut it. Nobody's ever really told me I've been wasting my time with Derek, though. Because Derek has made it known that him and Hollywood are pretty close together. Him and Gooding Jr. and you know, Fauci and Bargain. So if you feel like you're wasting your time with somebody that is willingly admitting that they're knee deep in Hollywood and helping the people and their deals and their contracts and stuff like that, then it's hard to say you're wasting your time, because if nothing else, he has the ability to reach people in Hollywood to help convert them, if he wants to tell them the truth. Which goes back to the John the Baptist thing, where you have Johnny and Derek. Johnny was up first, and as John the Baptist, see, I feel like this is what happened back then, 3.5 years ago. I feel like Derek went through the Jesus thing, where the show happened, the whole persecution. He may have even went and they did a show where it looks like he got really beat, like they probably went through the whole Jesus thing, and people really thought that was him. And then he died, and he rose back up, and people are like, wow, you're Jesus. But he did say the other day about a spiritual death, to let the people know that the reason why he didn't die as Jesus is because it's a spiritual thing. Duh. And Johnny was the one that was like behind the scenes letting people know that here comes Derek, here comes Jesus. But then what happens is, it's like whoever the John the Baptist is doesn't experience being Jesus until they realize that it's their turn to become Jesus, because they were John the Baptist. They were proclaiming Jesus' return, sort of like Harold Camping, crying in the wilderness, paving the way for the return of Christ, which in my opinion would be a true John the Baptist, because he wasn't saying that he was at all, and he was saying that it's the Spirit is coming into the world. And that's what Derek has been saying. It's the Spirit. It's not just one person, but it becomes one person, because if you're one person if you're the head of that belief system, you become the head, the rest become the body. The disciples, John the Baptist disciples. So John was the head. That's why they cut off the head. It's just like, here's the head, here's all the knowledge, take a double portion, Jesus. And then John the Baptist becomes the Jesus figure until the Jesus before that comes into play. Because John the Baptist, it's not a secret. People believe that Derek Broze is John the Baptist, some also believe that he is Christ, because he even said it. Many are going to come in my name, say that I'm he. Don't believe it. It's not that he's saying he's not the light with the words, but by saying that, he's saying I'm not the light. I don't remember saying I'm not the light, but by saying do not believe the people that say that I am Jesus, because they're going to deceive millions or billions, then that's him telling you he's not the light. However, there's another understanding of the interpretation, which is your perception that what he's meaning is he's not the light yet. He didn't experience being Jesus yet, because everybody experiences being certain people. Like you'll experience being Judas, you'll betray Christ. You'll experience being Peter because you'll deny him 3 times. You'll experience being these, and then you'll experience being the thief on the left side. You'll experience the thief on the right, and then finally you'll experience being Christ himself being crucified. I understand that part. But John the Baptist, if you're willing to, accept it that he is Elijah to come, well then you know that Jesus, when they said, I thought Elijah was supposed to come, he's like, he did. And you did to him what whatever. And because Christ he comes in laying down the law like Moses. He comes in mocking the 450 false prophets like Elijah. And so he comes in through at the beginning with those spirits, like laying down the law. I didn't really look at Harold Camping too much as an Elijah type, but I did look at him more as a Moses type, laying down the law. Harold Camping laid down the law. And that's where everybody else they've learned from Harold Camping. Derek Rose learned from Harold Camping. Johnny Klex, they learned from Harold Camping. And then, so because he laid down the law, and then the Christ Spirit takes on laying down the law, mocking the 450 false prophets, because it's a joke. Like everything's this world is literally a joke. If you take it too serious, you'll be uptight. If you don't take things that serious, then you'll get whiplash. You'll get sideswiped. I don't know. You'll get surprised. So somewhere in the middle ground. Because mocking liars is, I mean, when you can see it, like think about all the people on YouTube that obviously, I mean, there's no question whatsoever who they work for. They either work for Derek directly or Johnny directly. Christopher Green, for example, who do you think he works for? I would say he's more in line of a Derek employee. He's over there in Hawaii, living it up. I can't wait until things turn, the tables turn, and everybody that is not anymore, and everybody that wasn't is. So he's over there in Hawaii, living it up. In all likelihood, he's a concealed weapon. And then, like Tyler Mullen, who do you think he works for? I think he's more in Jonathan Kleck's area. What do you think? I think he's more in that. I think he's more in the Jesus realm. Right, Tyler? Is that who your boss is? Don't act like you're not watching this video and you're going to comment with somebody else's account. Like, oh no. More like Jesus. So which brings me back to Adam and Eve. Adam, to me, in this system, not the real Adam, just in this system. But then again, who is the real Adam? What's the real Adam about? Is Adam Jesus? the first and the last Adam? Because I've heard that theory, but then I heard, no, wait, Adam's the first, and then Jesus is the second. No, wait, no, Jesus is the first, and then John the Baptist is the second. It's just, why do you think things are damn confusing? I'm just trying to figure out what the actual script is that's being played out, because once you finally realize what the actual script is and who that person is there and that one, then you can tend to find out what the actual truth is, because obviously you have players playing this rollout. You're going to have a couple different Jesuses playing this thing out, and they all know each other. They're all in on it together. This is their thing. I just didn't realize it was going to take this long. My God. I think Steve was right. 4-3-2-1. I think he said that like 2 years ago. I'm like, shut up. It's going to happen now. It's happening now. I'm tired of your lies. Well, what's going to happen in 4-3-2-1? April 3rd, 2021. What's going to happen April 23rd, 2021? That's going to be 42 months since the Revelation sign, 2017. Because I started 5 months and 21 days before that. Exactly 5/21 before September 23rd with that Revelation sign. I had 5 months and 21 days to get to that point. Right? April, May, June, July, August, September. Yep. Yeah, April 2nd to September 23rd. 5 months, 21 days. I'm all about May 21st. All about that day. I just didn't realize that that it's a 10-year, it really is a 10-year tribulation period. And then 10 days from that point on brings us to May 31st, the second month, and the 27th day of the month? Yeah, 27th day. According to Harold Camping, the second month and the 17th day of the month is May 21st, and the second month and 27th day of the month is May 31st, which brings me to June 1st. That's how I came up with, can I convince my subs that, like, can you actually believe that this summer we're going to be at that Miami Beach International Resort from Trump, free of charge? Can you believe that? Can you believe Derek is a one-man show? This is a revelation gift, if you have it. If you can reveal who's in charge behind the scenes, well, then that's going to make you greater than three kings. If you can do that. So this is the competition. And even the people that work underneath of Derek and Click, they're like Lefty. Like, I'm the freaking I am the Abaddon, Apollyon. I'm the angel. Nobody believes me. I'm tired of nobody believing me. And then with Steve, I'm tired of making videos and nobody watches them. Well, it's not about everybody watching them. It's about the only persons, the 3 or 4 or 7 top people that need to watch your video. That's all you got to worry about. The people that run this entire planet, that's who you need to get the attention of. You don't have to worry about all the other people, because when you get the attention of the top players, then you are in competition with them to show them who they are. And then once you reveal that, it's free from there on out. You're a free man. You've just opened up the gates of hell. You had the key to the bottomless pit. You're the one that actually opens up the bottomless pit and frees everything. So to care about views, it's not. Steve knows it's not even about that at all. But for him, it is, because when you're from the inside, you got to convince regular people of who you are. Me, I don't have to convince anybody of anything, because all I got to do is show you what really is happening behind the scenes, to those who are behind the scenes. That's the most important views, because once you finally get that, then things can change in the world after that, because you're revealing who they are. You're revealing what they're thinking. You're revealing what they're saying. You're revealing side-by-side imagery. Here's this person over here and this person here. And with Derek being a one-man show, he's recording as Malia on this side, and then he's over here, and then he's doing the movement. He got his eyes fixed on that pencil, making sure that it doesn't touch him, because it can't. You don't want it going past. You don't want the imagery going past you, and that's what he's doing. So, I mean, I said yesterday, I kind of feel bad that I expose him like that, but I mean, I know you appreciate it because it's true. It's how you said it before. I and the Father are one, and if you've known me, you've known the Father also. If you know the Father, you would also know that you would know Malia, you would know who I am, you would know who the Bearded Star is, you know my other account, you know who all these people. I think he even said Jacob Israel. I think he may have said, and I started thinking of that too, like, because John, you asked from Denver about that, but I was thinking of it, and then when Jacob was like, because I'm talking about meat suits, and I'll get back to that in a second, but the meat suit with Inky and Enlil's sister is the creator of this here flesh, this, you know, the flesh wrap. I'll call it a flesh body wrap. You hop in this ordeal and no one's ever seen God, like that God, because you don't really, all I've seen is his eyes and the spirit. And that's the whole point. Like, that's why the anonymous mask thing is there, because you're not supposed to judge someone on what they look like, what they sound like. So that's why it's not really them, it's not really their voice. You got to judge the spirit itself. So when Jacob was saying about the billionaire in charge making all the money, he did point to himself right after talking about making all the money, talking about the billionaire up there, like, you know, Derek, but pointing to himself at the same time. He's a big guy, big meat suit, but it's such a different personality from Derek. But look, if you're a good actor, you can act like anybody. You can when you can change your voice, when you're full female and male combined, and you're able to change your voice, and you're such a professional at it, it's like a drop of a dime. You can have a call-in show, and Malia's over here. You don't see her, but she's over here, like a live. You can have a live call-in show. Malia's over here, and Derek's there, and they'll take a call and like talk to Derek, and then, hey Malia, what? And then he'll just switch right over to that voice, right? That's why I want to do that green screen thing. I want to practice my my Robin and Henry interview with each other. See how well I can get it. For me, having a pretty good conversation with him as if he's right there looking at me, because it seems like it'd be pretty fun. I enjoy doing that. I enjoyed having Robin and Henry and Ruben and all my brothers together talking to each other. So Adam and Eve is it's being played out in every which interpretation you can understand. So if you believe that Adam and Eve are twins, and their names are Johnny and Johnny, and one's a male and one's a female, then that's what you're going to believe. And then if you believe that Jesus, the Adam, is the one that has to get inverted, and it's about being born again, it's about giving now, like you don't pleasure yourself, you pleasure others, or it's not about yourself anymore, you're giving to others. And then so that would get you tricked into doing that surgery thing, the It's all about the Philadelphia landscape, the art museum, right side up, upside down. It's two different systems. You either conceal it, because the obvious thing about this is all of Hollywood, basically all of Hollywood, all of everybody that's famous, for whatever reason, obviously you got to do something for that. You can't just be famous and not comply with Lucifer's rules at all. You can't do that. Only I can. And anybody else that's just going to tell the truth no matter what. No matter how much you're threatened to have the tree of life chopped off of you in the midst of your garden, no matter what the threats are, no matter what you got to go through, when you finally come out on the other end and you still are attached, then you are going to be able to do what you want to do without Lucifer and his, you're not going to be forced to do anything because you passed the test. You were kept from the hour of testing, and you did not touch that tree of life and alter it in any way. But touching your tree, it's like, oh, no, don't, you can't, don't, you're just not even supposed to touch it. As a matter of fact, you just got to chop it off. Yeah, well, why were we born with it then? What's the point? What's the point? You're not supposed to lie with a woman, right? Well, what's the point of life? Aren't you supposed to reproduce? Yes, that's what the Bible says, right? Reproduce? No, that's our race. We reproduce, not you. You're not supposed to touch. You're not supposed to lie with a woman. Well, yeah, you don't lie with anybody. You're not supposed to lie with anybody if you're a liar. But also lying with a woe man, well, a human woe man? Nah, you're not supposed to lie with that at all. But is that not what God's angels got tricked into doing? Coming down from heaven, having sex with human woman, and then in order to get back up, they got to become a woe man after they were having sex with a human. And in order to get back up to heaven, you got to do that. You're only going to live here on this earth as exiles for the rest of your life in your host body, no matter what you decided to do with it. Because the requirements to get back up there, it's a trick. So all this Adam and Eve, different people are playing it out. And then the Marys, there's 3 Marys that were at the foot of the cross, and John was there. Now, whether or not, like when I hear the interpretation, the perception that when I hear what you are supposed to perceive, I'm perceiving what Derek is saying, which is him and Malia are the authors of the book of John. But at the same time, Mary and John are one. Mary and John were at the foot of the cross of Christ. But how would he be able to be the author of the book when this book was written before we were born? Well, then that would go back to, wouldn't that be something if there's a chamber of, like, once you die, your spirit, like, wouldn't that be something if they can literally take their spirit and just, once your body's done, and it just hops into another one, and you know exactly who you are, and you continue on. I mean, it's a thought. I don't know if that's really possible. I believe it's, once you get to a certain age, you start your father's father. They're the ones that teach you what they're, like, in other words, the Luciferian spirit itself is someone that has the knowledge passed down to them, generation after generation after generation. So they know exactly who their dad was and who they are, and they're gonna take all that information because they were given the information. It was just put on their lap. Us, we normal people, we have to figure it out. We're not told anything. But there is going to be a point where we're all going to be told, because the truth is known, and then it's like filling in the little pieces of the puzzle that we couldn't figure out But once everybody tells the truth, when you stop trying to act like you're this person when you're not, and you see that person, you can tell them, no, you are, Peter or Paul or whoever. So who is Paul? Paul is the one that he's, after 3 years, his eyes were blinded or Saul, and then he turned into Paul. But it also had 3 days. So Paul is going to be the one on the road to Damascus. So Paul, come on, man. Whoever you are, Paul, are you going to Damascus or what? Let's get rid of this mask. But the problem is everybody wants to be Jesus, but they don't want to die like Jesus. Even though Jesus never died. But see, that's a big fat lie, because he did die. He hung on a cross. Spiritually. Literally, why would they nail him to a cross? It just never made sense. I just can't stand the way the lies are and the perception of, because it won't be this in another 100 years from now. Our children's children, they're going to actually know the truth about what happened, because it's all about just the perception, the interpretation that is it just makes it seem like, what's the point of being? Why would you want to be Jesus? But everybody playing Jesus behind the scenes, they know that he didn't really die. That's why they're playing him, because they know that he's not really going to die, but there's going to be a fake death. But that's why those people that play Jesus, well, one of them is really Paul. The other one, that's really John the Baptist over there. And the other one, no, that's Peter. It's not. It's like Peter, James, and John are all playing Jesus. Peter, John, and James. Yeah, I can see that. I can see Derek Rose, Johnny Clegg, and Stephen James DeShawn playing Jesus, because I can see that. So I would think that the Peter, John, and James of this system are the people that are playing Jesus, but they also know that Jesus doesn't really die, and all four that are at the foot of the cross. You know how they know that he really didn't die? Because they were at the foot of the cross. They're the four that really know what happened. Why do you think Joseph and Nicodemus, I think, came and took his body? They took the body of Christ, the body, the knowledge. They took John's head and the body of Christ in order to continue on with their message. And what if the